Hello, I am Melissa, here to teach the Foundations course. So welcome, and we're going to start. We'll just kind of jump right into it. You can get started in a seat because that's the easiest for everyone. So we're going to sit up nice and tall, your legs are crossed. And if you have a brick, I'm going to recommend that you go ahead and sit on that brick just so the hips are slightly higher. I'm going to start to engage your core muscles. And I need some energy today, so I'm going to have those palms facing up in a mudra with your index finger and your thumb touching. Sitting up nice and tall. Clearing your mind. Any distractions that may have happened, just go ahead and block it out. We have the next 60 minutes just to focus on our breath, on our practice. So I'm so glad you could join me today. And let out any air that you have, letting out any stress that you may be feeling. And take a deep inhale through the nose, filling up the lungs. And exhale right back out through the nose. Inhale, maybe sitting up a little higher. Trying not to lean forward. Maybe that brick automatically makes you want to lean forward. This is our Ujjayi breath. If you're new to practice, this is our yoga breath. That breath you're going to keep with you throughout the entire practice. And a breath you can certainly use during the day if things seem to get a little much. We're going to focus today, our intention, at least my intention for the practice is gratitude. I'm just feeling grateful for everything that we have. I know these are hard times, just really feeling grateful that we have our health, our family, hopefully everyone's healthy, and that today's a beautiful day, no rain. I want you to go ahead, start to roll your shoulder blades back, loosen up a little bit. We're going to reach our right arm out in front of us. And we're going to take our left hand, just grab right at the forearm and pull it to the side, getting a nice stretch up through the shoulders. Take an inhale, still sitting up nice and tall. Exhale. Inhale, maybe pulling back a little more, get a deeper stretch. And go ahead and bring it all the way back, setting it down. Reach that left hand out in front, grab onto that forearm, and pull it, sitting up tall. Take an inhale. And take an exhale, engaging the core muscles at the same time. And go ahead and bring it back. All right. Bring those hands to heart center. Going to interlace those fingers, press it away, take an inhale. Maybe release the crown of the head behind you. And bring it back to heart center. Take a moment. Just go ahead and roll out your wrists. If you want, you kind of interlace, do it this way. And kind of go up and down. Just take what you need here. We're going to bring it back to center. And we are going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to start off a little differently today. Normally, I have us start off with a little bit of spinal balancing. We're going to jump right into it. So we're going to go right into our modified high plank. We're going to be doing a lot of core, a lot of shoulder work today. Placing those palms on the mat, walking the legs back. So you're on your knees. Your back is flat. You don't want your glutes up here. Your back is nice and flat. If you need to walk the hands out so the baby fingers are hanging off the edge of the mat, go right ahead. Your core is engaged. Your gaze at the mat. Take an inhale. And take an exhale. And start to build that arm strength. We're going to lower halfway down. And we're going to hold for 2 breaths. Here we go. Lowering halfway down. Stay for the inhale. Stay for the exhale. One more. there, uncurling the toes. Release those legs to the ground. We're going to bring our left hand out, coming onto those fingertips. Bring our right hand out so your hands are off of the mat. As you inhale, roll the chest up and open. As you exhale, bring it down. 2 more rounds. Inhale. Get a nice stretch here in the lower back. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Rolling up. And exhale. Gonna bring those hands to your sides. And just press up into a cobra, so keeping those elbows tucked in, they're never jutting out. Inhale. And exhale, roll up over the knees. We're going to go ahead and sit on our heels. We're going to stay here for a few moments just to loosen up. Again, if you need a brick, go ahead and sit on the brick. This will be a nice modification. You need the brick up a little higher, turning it this way. Placing your hands right on your thighs. Take an inhale, core muscle engaged. Take an exhale. Going to go ahead and bring our hands behind our back, interlacing our fingers. Inhale, pressing the chest out. Exhale, release the crown of the head behind you. Inhale, back up to center. Go ahead and remove the brick. And we're going to come right onto all fours, just a little bit of leg work. We're going to take our right knee. We're going to move that right knee up about 1 inch. We're going to come into our modified side plank. We're going to take that left leg, release it to the side so your heels are in line. Flattening your back, tucking your glutes in. Reach that left hand high. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. If you want, you can go ahead and put the gaze at the mat. Just one more big breath here. Going to get a little bit of work into it just to balance you. We're going to take that left hand, clipping your hip. We're going to bring that left leg up to hip height, not above hip height. We're going to take those left toes, flexing them toward you. Take an inhale. And take an exhale. We're just going to go ahead and come into a little bit of movement. We're going to take that left leg, tap it to the mat, and bring it right up to hip height. Inhale. Exhale, hip height. Inhale. Exhale, core is engaged, back is flat. Last one, inhale. Exhale. And release it down. Bring it back to center. Shift out the hips. You can take a moment, roll out the wrists. We're going to come right onto the other side. So this time, just for a moment, I'm going to be facing away from you so you can see how my alignment is. We're going to take that left knee, move it up 1 inch. Take that right leg, bring it back, raise that right hand high. So you'll notice my glutes are not sticking out, they're tucked in. My fingertips are reaching toward the ceiling. And I'm going to take that right leg, bring it to hip height, toes are flexed toward me. Take an inhale. And exhale, core is engaged. And now I'm going to go ahead and come into some movement. Notice my back leg is nice and straight, it's never bending. I'm going to go ahead and inhale, tap it down. Exhale, right back up, never higher than the hip. Inhale. Exhale, let's go one more time. Inhale, nice and straight, toes flexed toward you. Right back up. And bring everything back to center. Shift it out. Nice job. Now we're going to go ahead. We're going to work our way into our first down dog. So planting our hands onto the mat. If you want, go ahead and walk it out a little so those baby fingers are able just to hang right off the edge of the mat. Only the baby fingers. Going to curl onto the toes and bring it right into your down dog. Tailbone high. So your shoulder blades are melting down your back. Your head is nice and relaxed. Shifting that weight behind you. Those heels are reaching for the mat. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Go ahead and start to pedal out the legs. Bending one knee and then the other. Wagging the tail, shaking the head, yes and no. We're going to come into a little bit of core work. Bringing it back to our down dog. It's going to be all about the breath today. Inhale, pull forward, high plank. Exhale, down dog, tailbone high. Inhale, pulling forward, pull forward right here. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Shoulders in line with your wrists. Modification, you can always drop to the knees. You don't have to. Belly's engaged. Nice job. Gaze at the mat. Take one more inhale. Exhale. Down dog. Take those legs. Walk them up towards your hands. Putting a bend in the knees. I'm going to go ahead and face you for our ragdoll. Karate chopping the elbows. Let the head hang heavy. So you're putting a bend in the knees to release the lower back. Swing side to side. And we're going to go ahead and release those hands down in front of your toes again. And we're going to roll on up one vertebrae at a time. Bring it into our mountain pose. So your toes are touching. There's a little bit of distance between your heels. Shoulder blades are melting down your back. It's an active posture. So when we move into our sun A's, we're going to be adding an extra step in today. Nice and slow, nothing's going to be rushed. Here we go. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, mountain pose. It's going to be our extra step. Inhale, bring it right back up. Exhale, hinge forward or swan dive. I'm going to do the modifications today. Inhale, halfway lift. There's a little sway in the spine. Exhale, plants the hands, steps it back, high to low push-up. So I'm coming to my knees. You don't have to. Lowering all the way down. Once you get there, rolling the chest up and open. Exhale, curl into the toes. Down dog. Inhale, rise high. Bend the knees. Walk, step, or float. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Don't forget the extra step. Exhale, mountain pose. Let it out. Core's engaged. Inhale. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, high to low. Again, I'm coming into the modification. Elbows graze your side body as you lower. Roll the chest up and open. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Down dog. Inhale, rise. Walk, step, or jump. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Inhale, really spread those fingertips. Exhale, shoulder blades melt down your back. Inhale. Exhale, lead with your heart. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, steps it back, high to low. Shoulder blades melt down your back. And take the entire breath to get to your down dog. Once you get there, go ahead and put a bend in your knees on the inhale. And on the exhale, start to straighten out the legs, pressing the tailbone toward the back of the room. Inhale, we're going to extend that right leg back, lifting it high. And exhale, we're going to step it all the way through. We're going to drop that back left knee. Coming into our modified crescent. Inhale. And exhale, Or for a modification, you can go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. Either way, as you're leaning forward, you're getting a nice stretch here, and that knee is slightly over your ankle, not much. Just to get a little bit of an extra stretch. Still focus on that posture. Take an inhale. And take an exhale. If you want, you can go ahead and bring the hands up. The hands are up and you feel like your shoulders are scrunching. Go ahead and turn those baby fingers in toward one another. It's going to help melt your shoulder blades down your back. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to straighten out that front knee as we hinge forward. And get a nice stretch here behind that right kneecap. Rounding the back. Maybe you're on your fingertips. You can either, for a modification, if you need to place a brick on either side, just to kind of help you round your back a little better. And we're going to slowly rebend that right knee, walking the hands back up. We're going to come off of that left knee onto our left toes. Take an inhale. Now we're in our runner's lunge. Stay for the exhale. Gonna twist it open. Take that left hand to the inside of the right foot. Right hand high, twisting. You can drop it behind you for a half bind or leave it lifted. Nice job. We're going to get a little bit of arm movement here. Inhale, that arm is reaching up. Exhale, let's everybody try the half bind. Press a little deeper into that back heel. Inhale, raise it up. Exhale, half bind. Last one. Inhale, get a nice stretch in the back of your left calf. Exhale. Inhale, reaching up, release that right hand to the outside of your right foot. Planting the hands on the mat without scraping. Step back that right leg, high to low push-up. Again, I'm doing a modification. Pressing your chest forward. And down dog, tailbone high, pedal out the legs. Make any adjustments. You can wag the tail, shake the head yes and no. And we're going to go ahead and bring that left leg high. Inhale. And exhale. Bring it through. Drop to that back right knee. And go ahead and come up. Modification, hands at heart center, full posture up here. Leaning slightly forward so you're getting a nice stretch in the top of that right leg. So left knee slightly over the ankle. Core muscles are engaged. Maybe your eyes are closed, maybe they're open. Take an inhale. Maybe turn those baby fingers in toward one another. Exhale, straighten out that leg, hinge forward, rounding the back. Just letting go. Feeling a nice stretch behind that left knee. And slowly walking those fingertips back up. Use your core, sweep it up, inhale. Exhale is going to bring it through. We're going to curl onto those right toes. Now opening up your chest so you're not cutting off your air supply there. And we're going to take our right hand to the inside of the left foot, left hand high, rotating up and open, pressing that back heel into the mat. Maybe your gaze is at the mat, maybe it's at the sky. Sinking into it and coming into some movement. Inhale, release that top hand, half bind. Exhale, back up at the sky. Inhale. And exhale, still pressing that back heel. Last one, inhale. Just pressing the weight back to your heels, to your toes. And just staying here for about 7 breaths before we really jump into our practice. I'm gonna grab some water. Woo! Good job. Alrighty. Whenever you're ready, bring it back up onto all fours. We're going to go ahead and start to work those glutes before we jump into a lot of balance work today. But don't worry, it'll be fun. Here we go. Inhale is going to press that right leg behind you, squaring it off, so you never want that right leg to be higher than your hip. Flex those right toes toward you. And only looking at the mat, we're going to lower halfway down and right back up. Keep that right leg lifted. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Leg is straight. Exhale. Just 2 more. Inhale. Nice job. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, don't drop that right leg. Put a bend in the right knee. Pulse it out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten it out, square it off. Now drop it down. Round the spine, shift from side to side. And coming on to the other side, here we go. Take that left leg, press it out, squaring it off. Again, never higher, always hip height. Micro bend in those elbows. I think we did 4 last time, let's go for 5. Core is engaged the entire time. For 1, only halfway down. 2, 3, leg is straight. 4, 5, let's do 1 more. And 6. Putting a bend in that knee and pulsing it out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten it out, square it off, round the spine. Shift it out. And at this point, if you want to walk the hands back, maybe take a moment, sit on your heels, roll out the wrists. All right, we're going to do a little bit of squatting, then we're going to go into some balancing. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take our right leg, walk it up to our right hand. Take our left leg, walk it up. We're in a low squat here. Hands at heart center. If you need to go ahead and slide a brick under there, go right ahead. We're going to play a little game called Elevator. We're going to go ahead and reach our hands out in front of us. Couple things to remember. Your chest is lifted, you're never rounding. Core is engaged. Breath, that Ujjayi breath. Here we go. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 more rounds. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're not rounding. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one. Inhale, 3, 4. Last count. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Plant the hands, round the back. Step that right leg back. Step that left leg back. And down dog, tailbone high. Nice job. Pedal out the legs. I just took a lion's breath there. Good time to open up the mouth and let the air go. And bring it back to that down dog, pressing your tailbone toward the back of the room. Inhale, rise high. Bend the knees. Walk, step, or float. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. stick the tongue out as you exhale. Take a few more here. All right. So we're going to go ahead and come into our eagle pose. And we're going to do some core work in our eagle pose. So here we go. Standing up nice and tall. I'm going to have you bring your hands to heart center. So we're not going to cross the arms just yet. Eventually we will. I'm going to go ahead and sink down to your degree. So this is our modified. I'm going to take that right leg. Again, this is all modified. We're going to go ahead and reach around the left knee. Tap the right toes. Sitting up nice and tall. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. If you'd like a little more, you can go ahead, touch one shoulder and then the other. Still sitting up tall. We're going to go ahead and crunch it out for 5. Here we go. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Still sinking deep. And go ahead and come out of it. Shake it out. All right. That was our most modified version. I'm going to try it again a little later maybe. Take an inhale. We're going to hit the other side. Bring the hands to heart center. Micro bend in the right knee as you bring that left leg over, touching the toes. So I'm not leaning forward. The crown of my head is reaching toward the ceiling. My core is engaged. And you can say here to pulse it out or reach over. Here we go. For 1, 2. It's all about the balance and the breath. 3, 4, and 5. And bring it out. Nice job. We're going to bring our heels together to touch. Hands out in front of us. Sink it down. Utkatasana. But with the hands out in front of us because we're going to be pulsing it out. Shifting your weight behind you. You look down at your toes. You can see them. Sink down to your degree. Take an inhale. Take an exhale, sink a little deeper. We're going to pulse it out for 5, chest lifted, 4, 3, good job, 2, 1, bring it up, mountain pose, right back up, sink it down, Utkatasana with the hands out in front of you. This time for 10, 9, look down at your toes, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right back up. Woo, mountain pose, nice job. Let's bring our legs about hip distance apart. Go ahead and clip at the hips as you hinge forward. Releasing the hands. Right in front of your toes. Once you get there, heel toe your feet into a wider stance. So you're in 10 stretch position. And try to release the crown of the head as close to the mat as you can. Nice job. You can grab onto either ankle. You can walk the hands right through your legs. And we're going to bring it back up to center. If you have a brick, we're going to need the brick here. So in that position, you're going to take the brick. You're going to plant it at center. You're going to start by planting your right hand, and you're going to lengthen. So when we come into our twist, what you don't want is to be down here. You want to have a nice lateral back. Inhale is going to release that left arm high. Maybe drop it into the half bind. You do not have to look over your left shoulder. You can go ahead and look at the mat. You're going to feel a stretch right here in that right side, maybe a little bit behind the kneecaps. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Take one more here. And slowly bring it back to center. we're just gonna switch sides. So take that left hand, again, playing the left hand. You're not down here, that left arm is straight. Inhale, right hand high. Maybe the half bind, you certainly don't have to. Getting some nice stretching in today. And a nice little flow at the end here. We're gonna build our flow in a moment. Reach that hand high. Gonna bring your right hand down to the floor. Go ahead and release that brick. Go back into the intense stretch position. And you can shift side to side. Releasing those knees. And we're gonna bring it back up to that lateral spine. Heel toe, those feet, hip distance apart. Put a big bend in those knees. Sweep it up, sink down. So now it's a little different. Still the same principle. You're sinking down, you can see your toes, so you're not over top. Just like you're sitting on a bar stool. Whenever we can go back into a bar, you're gonna sit down, take an inhale. Take an exhale, let's add some arms in. Inhale. Exhale, sink. Inhale, really push yourself. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, just two more. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, last one, nice work. Inhale. Exhale, sink all the way up. Woo. Good job, all right. Shake it out. Now we're gonna come to the front of the mat. We have time to build a little flow. Usually it's easier for me with everyone here to build that flow a little earlier, but we're gonna do it. Here we go. Just taking a few moments to collect ourselves in that mountain pose. Toes are touching, distance between the heels. If you're new to practice, your mountain pose is an active posture, so everything's engaged here. We're going to start off with 2 sun A's, adding the mountain pose in. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinge forward or swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, steps it back. High to low push-up. Again, modification for me. Reaching the chest forward. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Down dog. Inhale, rise high. Bend the knees. Walk, step, or float. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, mountain pose. Nice and strong. Inhale, fingertips graze the sidewalls. Exhale, crown falls last. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low. Doing great. Elbows are in. Just listen to my cues. Down dog. Inhale, bring that right leg behind you, lifting it high without swinging. Bring it on through for your runner's lunge. Take an inhale. Exhale to stay. Nice and slowly, use your core. Sweep it up, crescent lunge. I'm doing a modification. We're standing up in our crescent lunge so that front knee is not slightly over your ankle. It's in line with your ankle. Take an inhale. Exhale to stay. All 10 toes facing me. Nice job. Take one more. Sweep the arms up on the inhale. Exhale, bring it through heart center. Steps it back without scraping. High to low. Back as flat as you lower. Rolling the chest up and open. Down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. And bring it on through. Runner's lunge. Pressing your chest forward. Get the stretch behind you. And sweep it on up. Crescent lunge. coming down to the back heel. Inhale. Exhale, we're gonna hold in a high plank. Here you go, 5 breaths, you got it. Shoulders in line with your wrists, you can always go to the modification. If you forget the modification, it's right here. Nice work. And down dog, pedal out the legs, we're not done yet. And we're gonna take our legs, walk our feet up a little less than halfway, and we're going to drop onto our forearms for our dolphin pose. So I'm trying to exaggerate my breath so you can hear how my breath is. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. So as we're here, a couple things you want to remember. Your weight is not up here in the shoulders. You're still sinking into those heels, so you have an even distribution of weight. Take an inhale. Exhale to stay. And go ahead and bring it to your knees. And just walk it up. Woo, good job. Okay. My goodness, time flies. All right, so we're going to go ahead and have a seat. We're going to grab our bricks. I'm going to place that brick in between your feet, sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to grab our ankles and we're going to try to get the crown of our head as close to the brick as we can. Here we go. We're hinging at the hips. One way to do it, if you need a modification, is to go ahead and bring the brick up long ways. That's okay too. We're going to hold here for 10 breaths because I really want to stretch out this part. Then we're going to dig into our core a little more. You're rounding your back. A couple things to remember. You're not hanging out in your shoulders. You're not hanging out in your neck. You're nice and relaxed. You're rounding your spine. You're feeling your inner thighs open. Almost there. And as you come out of this, tuck your chin into your chest. Roll on up, one vertebrae at a time. And we're going to go ahead and remove the brick. And we are going to come into a tabletop right now. So I'm going to demonstrate it first. Tabletop. Legs hip distance apart. Reaching your hands behind you, so my hands are like this. Fingertips are spread. And then reaching back, it's almost like my elbows are pulling together. And when I lift, it's going to be the same principle as bridge pose. You're going to lift with your legs. Take an inhale, lifting up, flattening the back. Relax the crown of the head behind you. Feel your triceps working. You're not hanging on your neck. Try to really block out those muscle groups. We just have 5 more breaths. Try to flatten that back. Remember, lift with those legs. You're always using muscle, not skeleton, to lift you. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale. Set it down. Try not to snap your neck forward. And release those legs out in front of you. Here comes our core work. First, we're going to come into our staff pose. Inhale. And exhale. Rounding the back, letting go. Okay to have a micro bend in those knees. And we're going to roll on up. One vertebrae at a time. I'm going to grab our brick. I'm going to place that brick in between your feet. Still flexing those toes toward me, toward yourself. Take an inhale, bring the hands to heart center. Exhale. Chest forward, arms out, lower halfway down. We're going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, you're you're not rounding. 2, 1, spring up, and right back. Halfway down for 5, 4, 3, 2, nice job, 1, back up. And now we're gonna set it back, maybe a little more than halfway. Here we go. We're gonna take tiny pulses, tiny little pulses for 10, 9, keep the legs still, 8, 7, chest is still lifted, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bring it up. Bow forward. Go ahead and remove the brick. We're just gonna keep moving here. Let's make it a little fast, just hang in there. Rolling on up, 1 vertebrae at a time. And sitting down halfway, hands to heart center. Here come the twists. We're gonna go for 7 rounds and see how we feel. Core is engaged. You can always bend those knees if that helps you a little bit. You're gonna start on the right. Right, center, left, center. That's 1 round. Right, left, right, left, right. Good job. Left, 3 more rounds. Right, left, right, left. 2 more rounds. Right, left. Last one. Right, left. Use your core. Bring it up. Inhale. Exhale. Hinge. Grab onto those toes. Gonna bring our legs out to a wide V. Toes are flexed toward you. And the goal here is to walk those fingertips forward, flexing the toes toward you as your resistance, and releasing the crown of the head as close to the mat as you can. You want to bring our forearms here. We're just going to stretch it out for a moment. Then we're going to tap into our core, but we're going to incorporate some leg work with it. And walk it back up. Nice job. Putting a bend in the knees. Gonna come into our boat pose. I'm gonna do the modification. Modification, easiest way. Hands underneath your knees, sitting up tall so you're never rounding. As you hinge back, get your balance, engage the core. Bring the legs up to right here. Take an inhale. And exhale. We're gonna hold for 7 breaths. Here's the second way, chest lifted. Third, maybe the legs are all the way out. Again, this is the modification. Supporting those knees. 3 more breaths. Now we're going to take our hands, bring them under our knees, lifting up, keep moving. Bring those legs out in front of you. Lower all the way to your back. Once you get there, we're going to place our palms. Place the water bottles in front of my head. Place those palms face down under your glutes. And we're going to reach those legs all the way up to the sky. And for 10, a 10 count, we're going to lower them all the way, about 1 inch off the mat, keeping them as straight as you can. Here comes the core work. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep breathing. 8, 9, 10. You're about 1 inch off the mat. And without swinging, slowly raise them to the sky. Keep them as steady as you can. Now we're going to try a 5 count. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 inch off the mat. Abs are engaged. Raise them up. And we're going to go ahead and just flow with it. We're going to go for 4 rounds. Here we go. 1 breath per movement. Inhale. 1 inch off the mat. Exhale. Inhale. Legs are as straight as you can get them. Exhale, just take your time. Do what you can. Inhale, you don't have to do everything. This is your practice. Exhale, right back up. Last one, legs are straight. Inhale. And exhale. Gonna pull those knees into center, bring it to your egg roll, give them a squeeze. We're gonna come into a little more deep stretching. Gonna go ahead and cross at the ankles now. Rolling up and down, gaining momentum. Look over your knees. I took that a little slower. And right into all fours, just so you can see me. We're gonna bring it back to our down dog, because we're not quite done yet. We're doing a little backwards today. We're gonna try our stretching. Go ahead, curl into the toes, press it back, down dog. I always like to do this one at the end of class rather than the beginning. Putting a micro bend in the knees, you're gonna walk those legs up about an inch. Still breathing. You're gonna take that right hand, weave it through, bring it to the outside and grabbing on to either your right ankle, or your left ankle or the left calf with your right hand. Take an inhale, twisting. Keep breathing. Really sinking into those back heels. Still trying to distribute your weight evenly. And go ahead and bring it on back. Down dog, make your adjustments. Still keeping those feet right where you have them. And taking that left hand, weaving it through to your right calf or ankle. Putting your gaze underneath that armpit. Rooting into the heels. Maybe you feel it a little bit behind your kneecaps. And bring it right back through, down dog. Go ahead and walk those legs back to your traditional down dog where they normally are. So you're able to go ahead and press that tailbone toward the sky. We're going to work our way into our pigeon. Inhale, that right leg lifts high. Exhale without swinging. Slowly bring that right knee through to your right elbow. You're going to go ahead, kind of scooch that left leg back, opening up first. Always open up first. And you're going to go ahead. Usually the beginners, I usually teach them right here on the forearms. If you need a little bit of stability, you can go ahead and place a brick underneath your right thigh so you're not leaning to one side, just a little more stable. You're going to stay here for about a minute. If you need a modification of this, you're going to go ahead and lay on your back. Going to take that right leg over the left knee, raise it. I like to weave my right arm under, grab on, and just pull it in. So that will be your modification for both sides. You're going to stay here for a minute. Letting go through your chest, through your neck, not hanging on anywhere. It's a lot of sensation. Breathe into it. Scooch back that left leg if you have to. Nothing wrong with that. And slowly bring it back up to long arms, opening up again. If you have a brick, go ahead and remove it. Curl into those left toes. And we're going to kick that right leg behind us. Maybe shake it out for a moment and square it off back to your down dog. Coming onto the other side, that left leg lifts. And bring it on through. Left knee to your left elbow. Opening up first. Hinging forward. Now, you can see me a little bit better on this side. You can go ahead and take that brick. Place it right underneath your left thigh. Need a little more stability. My left thigh seems to be broken today. There we go. Really just scooch that right leg back. You should feel your heart rate start to drop a little. Your Ujjayi breath is still the same. Deep inhales through the nose, then right back out through the nose. You're letting go. It's a lot of sensation, especially if you're new to practice. Don't get discouraged, just hang in there. It's a lot. Almost there. And you're going to go ahead and remove that brick. Always bring it back onto long arms first. And this time, rather than kick that leg behind you, you're just going to bring that right leg around. Now this is the point where we usually go into the staff pose, but I want to get the pigeon stretch in today, so we do a little differently. Bring your hands out to either side, and we're going to lower down as fast or as slow as you like. Once you get there, pull the knees into center, give them a squeeze. Coming into your egg roll for a moment, rocking side to side. So we've already done our twist. We've already done our hip opener, which was the pigeon. And go ahead and bring it right into your dead bug, grabbing onto the soles of the feet, flexing the toes just like you're walking on the ceiling. Pulling down, staying here with a neutral spine for 5 breaths. Never want to rush into the next part. Breathing into the creases of your hips. And after your 5 breaths, either stay here or you can gently rock side to side. Going into your happy baby. Maybe extending one leg out and then the other. Maybe both legs, it's up to you. Just do what feels good here. And when you're ready, bring it back to the neutral spine. Bring those knees into center. And we're going to extend them all the way to the sky, coming into your inversion. I'm going to go ahead and do a supported inversion. There's my brick. For your inversion, if you're not pregnant, have disc damage, glaucoma, nerve damage, high blood pressure, or if you're not nursing, you can do anything where those legs are coming up over your midsection and over your head. If not, keep them right here at the inversion. A brick is great. You don't have to use a brick, or you can go ahead and use a wall. I'm going to stay right here. Your palms are down. And this is one where the main question, if you're new to practice, is do you keep the legs still? I typically don't. I typically like to roll out my ankles, maybe crisscross a little. The point of this is circulation. You get that blood flowing. Really good to do in the morning and at night, especially in the morning because you've been lying down all night. You can bend the knees, or you can stay still. Just do what feels good. I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to teach just this today, just the inversion. This is a restorative posture. Typically, you hold this posture. If you're wanting something a little extra, always good to try to hold this posture about 5 to 7 minutes. We're not going to do that today, but I find it is helpful to hold it a little longer. So something you can do at home on your own. And if you have a brick, go ahead and remove it. If your legs are up against a wall, come back to that original inversion. And we're going to place our palms face down under our glutes, pointing our toes toward the ceiling. In the foundations class, I always like to end with a fish pose, pointing your toes toward the ceiling, lowering them all the way down. As fast or as slow as you'd like, using your abs for the resistance. Taking one big inhale. And exhale, setting it down. Final relaxation, Shavasana. So as you lie here, nothing is touching for final relaxation. If you feel the pigeon pose really didn't do it for you, you can come into your Supta Baddha Konasana, extra hip opener, with the soles of your feet touching, your legs splay open. We're going to spend the next few minutes just lying flat on our backs with nothing touching, our corpse pose. I'm not sure, but as we're lying here, I think it's week 300 of the quarantine, but no, I think it's week 4. But still, being thankful that most of us have our health and our families. Just being grateful for the time that we do get to spend with our families during this time, even though it may be stressful. Just listening to the sound of your breath. Maybe it's getting a little shallow. Hopefully it's starting to slow down a little bit. Either continuing to stay here, certainly feel free to stay here. You see my timing might be slightly off. With the final relaxation, either continue to stay here or roll onto your right side for a few more moments of relaxation. So rolling onto your right side into the fetal position. Just ending with a quote for the day, one of my favorite musicals, Les Mis. One of my favorite quotes too, actually. Even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. It was from Les Mis, 1862. Either continuing to stay here or coming back up to a seated position. You certainly don't have to. If you need a little more time, bring your hands to heart center and bowing your head slightly. And floating your thumbs to your forehead, your third eye, always your center of intuition. Leaving here, knowing that you truly are a blessing. Namaste. And before we go, the last 3 times I've done this, it's been a little segmented. That was for the purpose of any beginners out there. So, because it is a foundations course, next week it will be all flow. I feel like we have, set a good foundation enough to take it to the next level. But I miss you all. So hope to see you soon. Bye.